A state lawmaker wants to take a closer look at the Board of Nursing following an IT-made investigation.
Yeah, last week we broke the story of how dozens of nurses had their licenses renewed, including some that were facing criminal charges. As IT-Mate's Bennett Haeberle explains, it happened because of a loophole in state law. Bennett.
Lori, that loophole we uncovered states that the Board of Nursing must take action against a license within 4 months. When the board failed to do that, nurses who were accused of selling drugs, overdosing on heroin, or were the focus of a DEA investigation were among those given active licenses.
Well, it sounds like that there is a flaw in that system that needs to be overviewed and evaluated.
State Senator Jean Breaux says she was surprised to learn what we uncovered, that earlier this spring, 44 nurses were granted active licenses after the board failed to vote in time.
So what happens to all these nurses who weren't supposed to have licenses but now do?
They're active to practice.
Erin Somerville was among them. She told the board in February she did not feel ready to practice after overdosing on heroin 2 months earlier.
What do you have any thoughts on the fact that you have an active license now and you and a bunch of others initially weren't supposed to?
This nurse was among 9 who failed to show up for her hearing before the board. She too was among the dozens who had their license renewed. State law says the board must act within 120 days. If it doesn't, the license is automatically renewed.
That's something that I think we probably need to have a better understanding of, the process and the procedure, and make sure that it's working as we anticipated it when we put the legislature in statute.
Senator Breaux is the ranking minority member on the Health Committee. She thinks the issue may need attention before the next legislative session. Members of the nursing board were back at work Thursday. Some nurses we spoke to were surprised to hear about what our investigation uncovered.
From what I had seen from before, I'm surprised that it happened.
I feel that's horrible because actually my misdemeanor had nothing to do, it was even before I went to nursing school.
And it is unfortunate, and maybe that there needs to be some changes with the amount of time maybe that the board has to make those decisions.
That same sentiment was echoed last month by the board's attorney.
I think some people might be disturbed that there are nurses who were involved in criminal charges that now have active licenses that this board felt should not have had a license.
We're all concerned.
Bottom line is we should not have nurses who are free to practice without having gone through the licensure process.
Now, the Indiana Professional Licensing Agency says it has turned over the names of 33 nurses who should not have been renewed to the Attorney General's office. They'll be investigated and could end up back before the Board of Nursing. That doesn't fix the issue of the board's understaffing or the current law. Bennett Haeberle, 24-Hour News 8.